Wetlands, Lighthouse, Bridge, and Boundary Stones. Welcome to what was once the southernmost point of Washington, D.C., Jones Point Park in Alexandria, Virginia. If this sounds confusing, it will all be explained. In this series, we will get a healthy dose of both history and nature. We will check out a lighthouse dating back to 1856, which looks a lot different from what you might be used to. Remarkably, it sits right next to the very first and oldest object to ever indicate the existence of Washington, D.C. We will learn about boundary stones and also take a short trek right up to the banks of the Potomac River. We might even take a peek at a protected turtle nesting area, from a distance of course. And while we're at it, why not investigate a slew of man-made animal footprints? Let's get recreational! What we are looking at right now is a replacement boundary stone. On this side it says District of Columbia. Here it says boundary. Virginia. And here it says historic. So as I said, this is a replacement. The original one has been removed, but we have to ask, what is a boundary stone to begin with? So back in 1791, when they were first deciding what the borders would be for the new national capital of Washington, D.C., they basically decided that there would be an area that would make a perfect square that would be the federal district of Washington, D.C. And they went around this square area and pretty much dropped all these stones everywhere to mark the boundaries. Now, everything I just showed you was in the state of Virginia, so why does it say District of Columbia on this side? That's because DC used to be about twice the size of what it is now. Back in 1847, the state of Virginia decided that they wanted their portion back. So originally, this land was taken from both Maryland and Virginia, roughly half and half, with the Potomac River splitting them in the middle. But in 1847, Virginia said that they wanted their half back. And the reason was because this was because of slavery. So Virginia was a big slave state, and Washington, D.C. was also a slave district. Virginia felt that the tide was turning to where D.C. might abolish slavery. And Virginia didn't want to see that. That hurt their economy. So they wanted the land back so that they could keep slavery in that land. And the federal government went ahead and ceded it back, gave it back to them. And to this day, all of that land is part of Virginia, including Alexandria and everything that we've just looked at. So, but this is a replacement of the original boundary stone. The original boundary stones are just so old and kind of fragile. So this is a replacement, and I do not know exactly when this went in, but that is what this is. So right here where we are standing, there was once a house, a two-story house that made rope for ships. So here it says the Jones Point Ropewalk, 1833 to 1850. And in 1833, Josiah Davis constructed a narrow 400-yard long building where rope was manufactured for ships' rigging, a once thriving maritime industry for the nearby port of Alexandria. And here is archaeological evidence. Although this does not say exactly where it was where we are standing. Are we right on top of it? Is it off there where that kind of clear park area is? That I do not know. It does not say. But this is it. This is where we are. So up in the distance over there in the center of the frame is the Jones Point Lighthouse at the southern tip of Jones Point Park here in Alexandria. And before we go over there, I'm going to show you this information plaque over here. It says the Jones Point Lighthouse, 1856 to 1926. In the 1850s, Alexandria was one of the busiest seaports in the Chesapeake region. To help guide heavy Potomac River ship traffic, the federal government built the Jones Point Lighthouse, illuminating the beacon for the first time on May 1st, 1856. It was one of the first lighthouses designed using a new unified plan, combining the beacon and keeper's house into a single structure. And here it says, unidentified Jones Point Lighthouse Keeper and Buoy, circa 1905. So we are now, and here's a picture of it. We are now going to take a walk over there and see it up close. Now, they do not allow anyone to go inside, but we can still see it from the outside. And there it is up there, the lighthouse. It doesn't look like a lighthouse in the traditional sense when you think of a lighthouse, this kind of tower that goes straight up. It actually looks like a regular kind of old style house. But there at the very top on the roof, you can see the actual light. So this is actually a more literal version of a lighthouse. It's an actual house with a light at the top. See, and there it is right in the middle. You've got two chimneys on either side, and there is the actual light. We'll just take a walk around the area here. We've got a lot of fallen branches cut down. I guess they're more cut than fallen. Looks like some sort of shed, of course. A water pump. There's a dude fishing back there. Guess it's a nice kind of isolated spot. Except for people like me who come around to film the lighthouse or look at the lighthouse. Somewhat isolated, I guess. And as you can see, it needs some repair. The paint is peeling off. It'd be cool if they opened this up to the public, fixed it up, opened it up to the public, showed us all what it was like back in the day. But looks like we are far away from that point. You can see pretty clearly, I think, the state of disrepair here. But at least it exists. So many historical places like this are just completely gone for whatever reason. And here's another of the replacement boundary stones, like I explained earlier, except this one shows the division between DC and Maryland. And we have it on the other side as well.